Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create your own rhinestone template using fonts inside Cricut Design Space. I'm going to start you out in Creative Fabrica because this is the one-stop shop that will help you with all of your crafting needs. So Creative Fabrica comes with, you can either get a monthly or a yearly membership with them. I highly recommend the yearly membership because then you don't have to worry about any fonts and graphics during that time frame because you're sure to find whatever you need right here inside of Creative Fabrica. Now, the only thing that does not come with that yearly or monthly membership will be the CF Spark. CF Spark is your digital art where you can go and create all that beautiful digital art that you may be seeing crafters do now on their own. And just to give you a little bit of a look at some of the artwork that you can create, I'm going to take you to my page right quick. Okay, so these are digital images that I've created inside Creative Fabrica. And so instead of having to go and purchase graphics from somewhere else, I can just come in and put in a few keywords, which is a prompt, to make up my own digital images, and then I can use those in my projects. And so I have created, let's see what the magic number is now, um, 14,000 images I have on Creative Fabrica. And for those of you that don't know, they have a functionality in here now. Let's see if it's still in here, where you can actually go and you can locate your images via um, most relevant, newest, or the oldest to kind of, get there. So this is when I first started out and I was struggling, guys, and I didn't know what I was doing. So this is when I first started out trying to get my prompts together. And these are some of my older images that I created. Okay, so anyway, this is CF Spark. This is an additional $9 per month. So it doesn't come with the yearly or monthly membership. It's a separate charge of $9 per month. Okay, so that's that. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is that there are some rhinestone fonts inside of Creative Fabrica. So anytime you're getting ready to work on a project and you need special fonts, you don't have to go to What the Font. It's going to be right here in Creative Fabrica. They have script fonts, display fonts, sans serif fonts, serif fonts, black letters, slab, serif, decorative fonts, dingbats, colors, you name it. Okay, graphics. All of your graphic needs are going to be right here in Creative Fabrica Spark. So when I'm getting ready to start a project and I know I'm looking for something specific, I'll come to the search field and I'll just type in what I'm looking for. So I'm getting ready to do a rhinestone design. I'm just going to type in rhinestone and you can see that it's already started to locate things. And I can click on the magnifying glass and it's going to bring up anything rhinestone related. So you can see you have some types and categories over here on your left. You can tell it you're looking for print template, t-shirt designs, rhinestones, crafts, freebies, so on and so forth. Okay. If you narrow it down to just rhinestones, then it's going to give you only rhinestone related things. Okay. So you can see all these templates out here instead of going and purchasing from somewhere else. If you have a Creative Fabrica membership already, you have your templates right here already put together for you. Okay. Now, what I'm looking for, I see that cat mom. a lot. But what I'm looking for is I want a font, a rhinestone font. So I'm going to actually type in rhinestone font. I don't want a pre-made template. So here you can see that there are some rhinestone fonts out here. Now there's a RS01 here and a RS03. I've already downloaded those. So I'm going to walk you through the RS02. So I'm going to click on this one. You want to look, if you're looking for a font, rhinestone font, you want to make sure it's a TTF file. So you can see these three say TTFs. Okay. So I'm going to click on this. And because I have a yearly subscription with Creative Fabrica, all I have to do is just click on download, and this is going to be on my computer. You have a image down here that will show you exactly what letters and numbers you will get and what they will look like. And so you get the alphabet, and then you're going to get 0 through 9, okay, if you actually download this file. So I'm going to click on download, and commercial usage is allowed. You can click on that. It's a link. It'll tell you exactly how you can use this file commercially. But that's one of the good things about Creative Fabrica. Their graphics, their fonts, all of that with their membership, most often than not, will come with the commercial license. You're going to get a zip file once you download. It's going to be in your left corner. It's going to have ZIP on the end. You're just going to click on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this TTF file. Let's see if we can get it here. My computer's been acting kind of fluky today. All right, so I'm going to click on, I just want the TTF, okay? And then I'm going to click on Extract All. And what we're doing is we're getting this file, we're taking it from a zip file to a file that we can actually work with to install it onto our computer. So it's going to come in and it's extracting, compressing the zipped file. You can click on Browse and choose where you want to put it on your computer. I'm going to leave it here and click on Extract. And once you extract the file, guys, you do have to open that file and then install it, okay? So let's see if mine's going to come up automatically because sometimes it's fluky. But I can also go to Downloads. So here's the RS02. That's the zip file. You don't want to click on the one that has the zipper. You want to click on the one that looks like an open folder. So RS02 at Atletico TTF Rhinestone. So we're going to double click on that. And now you're going to double click on the TTF file and it will allow it to open for you now that you've unzipped it. And you'll see exactly what the font will look like. You're going to have two tabs here at the top left. You're going to click on the one that says Install, not the one that says Print, and this is going to install this font on your computer. Now, it's not going to give you a completed or anything. Once that little window that popped up goes away, it's installed on your computer. So we're going to remember RS02, okay? And we can go ahead and exit out. Now we're going to go over to Cricut Design Space. And I've already been working with one file here. So I left this open so you could see exactly what you'll need to do if you have Cricut Design Space already open when you get ready to work with a font that you just installed. So I'm going to hide this for just a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some text here. I'm going to put love. And this is the RS01AW Cursiva. You can get this font file also from Creative Fabrica for free if you have a membership, or at a low cost if you don't have a membership, okay? Now, what I want to show you is that if I go look for the RS02, it's not going to show up, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to type in, put a 2 on the end here. And you see it says no results. And that's because once you install it to your computer, you have to reload your Cricut Design Space because it was open. So Cricut doesn't recognize that file update to your computer. Okay. Real simple fix. All you have to do is save whatever you're working on because you don't want to lose it and you don't want any mishaps. So I'm just going to click on save. And then click on view and reload. You must view and reload if Cricut Design Space was opened while you were extracting that file, that Rhinestone font file, that TTF file. Now, if you didn't have Cricut Design Space open, then all you have to do is open it and it'll be there, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to click on that text file or the text again, and let me go up here. And I'm gonna type in love again. Okay. And right now it's in the Cricut Sans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this drop down arrow for font. I'm going to go back over to system because this is a system font. It's not a Cricut font. And I'm going to type in RS02. Oh gosh, it went back to my other file. I didn't think it was going to come up because sometimes it don't. All right, so I'm going to change this love to the RS02. And see, there it is. Okay, so you have to install that font on your computer after you zip it or extract it. You have to install it. Okay, so I'm going to bookmark it because I do bookmark all my Rhinestone fonts, and I'm going to go ahead and select it, and you're going to see that it's going to change our font to the RS02 AW Atletico. Okay, now this file is still not a Rhinestone font for us to use. So I want to turn this into a font file for the SS10, okay? The SS10 size Rhinestones. And so in order to do that, I'm going to have to make sure that each one of these little dots is a 0.13, which is the size that I'm going to need for an SS10. Now, I like this font, but I'm not in love with it. So since I've shown you how to install a font or a rhinestone font so that you can create a rhinestone template in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to change this to the one that I really want to use, which is the RS01. But I did want to make sure that I showed you how to get to this part. So I'm just changing my rhinestones or my rhinestone design. All right, so I'm going to use this one instead. I like the little cursive look, okay? But this is still not ready for us to use because right now the width is 3.43 and the height is 1.439, which is super, super small and too small for SS10 rhinestones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this so you can see the difference. Okay, so we're going to change this now into a rhinestone template for SS10s, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to come down to the bottom right and select combine, and you're going to select weld. And you're going to see a weld result that will let you know that it's complete here on the right. Okay, so there's our weld result, which is this one. And then once you get that welded, you're going to come back down to the right and click on contour. Okay, now When you do this part, guys, it's going to take a minute, and that's because Cricut is trying to pull up all those little bitty circles that's going to make up your rhinestone template. So just be patient. It'll come up, and this button is going to change from show all contours to where you'll be able to click on hide all contours. That's what we're looking for. So give me a minute. All right, so now that button has changed to hide all contours. When we click on this button, it's only going to leave one dot on our canvas, not the full word spelled out, just one dot, which is going to be this top dot here. Okay, so you're going to click on hide all contours. And it's not going to be anything to pop up to say it's completed or done. You just exit out of it once you click on hide all contours. As I scroll down, you can see that all of the dots are shaded out, and that's because they're not going to be included now. Okay, so we're just going to click on the X, and there's only one dot. That's the only dot you're going to need for this part. Okay, so you're going to come up to the top and you're going to click on your lock to unlock it, and you're going to change that little dot to 0.13 for the height and the width. Okay, and then click back on the lock to lock it back. Notice how much larger that dot is compared to these dots. This is an SS10 size dot. This is not. Okay, so what you're going to do now with that dot highlighted, you're going to go back to contour. And the last time we did hide all contours, the next time we're going to click on show all contours, and that's going to bring back all of our dots, and all of our dots will be in the size of 0.13 by 0.13. All right, so now we're going to click on this button and change it back to the full word of love on our canvas. Okay, so you're going to click on show all contours, and then you're just going to exit out. Give it a minute, and your love will show up. Okay, see the difference? That's why I left this one here, so you can see the difference between this is an SS10 template, rhinestone template. This is not. So you cannot install a rhinestone font and then think that you can just type out something and it's going to create the size you need. Depending on the size rhinestones that you are working with will determine what size that little dot needs to be. And I'm going to show you here. These are the sizes that you're going to need, depending on what size rhinestones you're working with. If you're working with the SS6 size rhinestone, then you're going to need to make that little circle a dot, 0.102. SS10s, we did 0.13. SS16s would be a 0.17, 0.17, and your SS20s are 0.21. Okay, so I'll leave that up for a minute. But again, this size template that we're working with the SS10s, so we had to make each one of these little dots a 0.13 width and height. Okay, so you can see the difference. So now our rhinestone template for love is going to be a width of 8.493 and a height of 3.563. You can change it at this point, but do not change it if you want it to be SS10s. If you shrink it down or whatever, it's not going to fit your SS10 rhinestones. And the same thing if you were doing SS6, SS16s, or SS20s. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to re-hide that. And what I would highly recommend, guys, is that once you create a rhinestone template, you name it. So I've already created my name out here, the love template, and you just click on save. And then it's going to ask you to give it a name and put it in a folder. It's not asking me to do all that good stuff because I've already done it. But it's really easy to save your work. Okay, highly recommend it so that you don't have to go through this step again. I mean, who doesn't need love in their life? We all need love, right? So I'm sure at some point in time you'll probably need this template again. All right, so at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put a rectangle around the word love so that Cricut will cut out, um, you know, that for me on my flock because I'm going to be using Magic Flock. So let's see here. So we're just going to take this and we're not going to make it super large, just large enough to, I'm going to unlock the thingy here. Just going to make it large enough so that it cuts around. So I'm going to click send to back so that love is showing so that I can see that I have enough room. So Cricut is going to cut out for me this outline here and then all the little dots. Okay, this is to kind of give you like a frame around your rhinestone template. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down to the bottom and click on attach. And that's going to keep your love and your border together. Okay. And then we're going to click on make it in the top right corner. Okay. And I'm going to change this to a 12 by 12 because I don't need 12 by 24 for this. But now you can see that we need to have Magic Flock to come from 1 to a little bit over right before the 10-inch mark. Okay. And it needs to be up to about 10 inches to about 5.5. Okay. That's about the size you're going to need for your rhinestone, for your Magic Flock. So I'm going to be using Magic Flock for this design to be cut out. Okay. So Cricut is going to cut out the outline, the border here, and then it's going to cut out each one of these little dots. And then I'll be able to put my rhinestones inside of each one of these little holes. Okay. So we're going to click on continue. And I have a Magic Flock template already out here, but you can browse all materials and choose Sticky Flock or Magic Flock for your material. I'm going to show you when I get ready to cut mine out is that before I release my mat to take my Sticky Flock off the machine, I make sure that my little dots have cut. And if they didn't, then I'll have Cricut to, you know, go in and do a second cut. Okay. So I'm just going to click on Magic Flock. And we're going to have it to do more pressure. And here it's telling you that there should be nothing inside your clamp A on, I'm using the Cricut Maker, and I should have the fine point blade. Now you can always go to edit tools, and if there's a better blade or another blade that can be used for this project, it'll show you. So it tells you that the fine point blade is recommended, but you could use the deep point blade if you didn't have the fine point blade. I would definitely not think that you could use the rotary. It probably would take forever. Okay. But the fine point blade is recommended. But if you don't have the fine point blade or your fine point blade is not sharp or not cutting well enough and you have the deep point, you can use it. Okay. So we're going to leave it on the fine point. That's what we're going to leave it on, which is what it was already on. And then we're going to go ahead and load our material. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Give me one moment. All right, guys. So this is the Magic Flock that I'm going to be using. And so it comes with the white paper backing on it. You're going to remove that white paper backing before you actually load it onto your mat. And we're just going to hold that over to the side. And this is where you want to make sure that you have enough Magic Flock for the cut. That's why I was talking about the sizing. So you can see that our Magic Flock comes over well past our 10. And I got it a little bit crooked, but it's not going to make that much of a difference. But I'll straighten it up here. So you want to make sure that that magic flock is stuck down to your mat. We're going to go ahead and we're going to load it into my cutting machine here. And Cricut is ready. I always like to do a blade check just to make sure that I don't have anything on my blade. And one of the ways that you can sharpen your blade, guys, is to use aluminum foil. Just take some aluminum foil. I normally just take it and ball it up into a little ball. I just keep this on hand, little ball of aluminum foil, and I just take and stick that aluminum foil a couple of times, and that's how you can sharpen your blade. I have had my Cricut maker for about 9.5 years. I have never, ever replaced the blade on this machine. Like, never. This is the same blade that came with my maker. Okay, so for all of you that have to run out and buy blades all the time, this is the way you can sharpen your blade with just a little bit of aluminum foil. Okay, so we're good to go there. And I'm going to go ahead and insert that. You can see all my other different blades that I have. So depending on what project you're working on will determine what type blade you need to use. Okay, you guys see that? All right, so now Cricut is going to, I was trying to move this over so you guys can get a better look. Cricut is going to now cut out each one of those little holes for me to make that love template. And then I'm going to let this run, and then I'm going to come back when it's done, and we'll move on to the second step. Or not the second step, but the next step of the process. All right, so I'll be back. All right, guys, so Cricut has finished cutting out our design for us. So at this point, we're going to go ahead, and I know it cut because I have some holes showing through here. But if not, you can always just lift it up to look, guys, to see. So this is the outside area. But I can lift it up and look to see if it cut. And you see all those little dots, so I know that it did. So I'm just going to go ahead and release my mat. But if it didn't, you would just hit the Cricut logo to have it go back and start to cut again. So I'm just going to take this off. And what I like to do is just cut off this little scrap here, because you never know when you may need just a little piece. And I'm going to put that back on this white backing. Okay, so this is some magic flock that I can use at a later time. Okay, so don't throw away that little scrap that you have left over. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to pull up the magic flock. And when we pull it up, we should have all those little dots to stay behind. Now, if you have any that are not moving, you know, that are still on here, before I start cutting, I'll take my one of my little scrapers here, my Cricut scrapers, and I'll just kind of scrape it like this to kind of get some of those dots to moving and get them right out of my way. And guys, I always find these things everywhere. I get ready to take a shower tonight, and I'll find some that's on my leg or, you know, on my back. I'm like, how did that get on my back? All right, so I'll just kind of scrape it forward like this. Try to get up as many as I can before I lift. So hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. And this is less blue dots that I have to take off of this mat when I do it this way. Okay, so I'll go over it one more time. Okay, so those are the ones that cut out super easy, that I could just knock them off the mat like that. Now I'm going to lift up. See, I have a lot less that I have to bother with when I get ready to scrape those off. But now you can see what I have. And you can see love is starting to come together now. So I'm going to go over this one more time with my scraper. I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see. I'm going to go over it with my scraper one more time. And then when you get to this part, this is the part that everyone hates because, you know, you got to get all those blue dots. You got to get them off your mat. So just use the scraper and move them right along. Okay. Very easy, but these blue dots are bothersome. Like a little gnat or something that's bothering you and you can't get rid of it. Okay, they'll keep showing up. So what you want to do, I'm going to take my one of my little tools that I use with my rhinestones. Let's see, I'm going to use my Cricut tool instead, and I'm just going to go through here, guys, and find the ones that didn't just lift up on their own really easy, and just go ahead and pull those right on out, because trust me, they all cut. Okay, they're all cut out of here. Let's try to pull up again and see if we can get some of the other ones to stay behind. Okay, I'm gonna move my love back up here again. I'm gonna scrape it again. Okay, and again, just go ahead and scrape those little blue dots right out of the picture. I forgot to bring my little trash can over here because normally I have that right by me when I'm doing rhinestones, because I know I'm going to have all these little blue dots. Now the good thing about this, guys, is once you do this process, you don't have to do it again. You don't have to do the cut part all over again. This is now going to be your template. Anytime you want to do this design, all you have to do is start with layering your rhinestones. That's it. You don't have to go through cutting another template or either creating another love template. You got your love template. You can do any color rhinestones you so choose. So I'm going to be choosing between the beadland rhinestones, or either my Rhinestone Warehouse rhinestones. I like both, but I really love the Rhinestone Warehouse. Like, super love them. So they may win out for this design today. I'm going to be putting this on a little black t-shirt for myself. Alrighty. You guys can see how it's coming together. Now, guys, my camera, sometimes it'll look like it's going in the wrong direction or it's backwards. Trust me, it is not backwards. That's just how my camera is set up. But it is not backwards. It is going in the right directions. I have to tell people that all the time. Even when I'm doing my t-shirts, my Sublimation t-shirts and all that stuff, they're like, It looks pretty, but it's backwards. All right, so you can see how none of these dots are like, oh, it didn't really cut. They all cut. Some came out really, really easy. Some are making me work for it. This is a tedious process, so I tell anyone, if you're going to do this process, make sure you got time. Okay. And the more words you use, guys, the longer it's going to take for that template to cut out. The longer it's going to take for you to get rid of all these pesky little blue dots that you see me working with right now. All of that is more time. Okay, but once we get this done, the hard part is over. Now with your sticky flock, I've worked with both sticky flock and magic flock. You're going to have a transfer sheet, transfer tape that will come with it. It is not the same as the transfer tape with your vinyl, guys. So do not try to use your transfer tape that comes with your vinyl for this process. But that transfer tape helps you to pick up your design, your rhinestones, so that you can press them on your shirt. Or press them on whatever you're going to put your design on. I think I'm going to try a dress one day. I haven't did a dress. I think that will be pretty. Alright, we're almost there. And hopefully my camera hasn't given up on me. I try to keep up with having enough space, but sometimes I'm talking and working and I'm not looking at my phone. Okay, just making sure that I get all of the holes out. This is going to, again, go for the SS10s. You do want to make sure your mat is good and sticky when you are working with these, because you don't want your magic flock or sticky flock, you don't want it to shift and then your cuts are not correct. Okay, so you do want to make sure you're working with a really sticky mat. Or otherwise tape it down real good. All right, I think that's it. So here we have the word love to fit our SS10s. What I'm gonna do now is I always just take a piece of cardstock and I pull up my design, and then I take that cardstock and place it down. And I put that template right there on the cardstock, just like that. Okay, it gives, look at these dots where they ended up at, guys. Y'all see that? Now how they get in the crease of my arm. I'm telling you, these things are bothersome. They're pesky little blue dots. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with the Rhinestone Warehouse. I have some gold SS10s, so I think I'm gonna use these because I'm gonna be putting them on a black shirt. I was thinking about these, which I thought would be really pretty. These are from the Beadland. These are hyacinth. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Rhinestone Warehouse. All right, so this is your rhinestone brush. This is what you use to brush your rhinestones into those little holes. And you normally want to go like in a circular motion. And what happens is your rhinestones will just kind of fall into place. You do want to go back and check your work to make sure that you don't have any rhinestones that are doubled up. You know, any that are missing. Might have missed a mark on my E over here now that I'm looking. There we go. But just double check your work, because like I said, these things take time. All right. Now, the only thing I don't know how to do really easy is to total up how many of these rhinestones you're going to need. The good thing about when you purchase on Etsy, a lot of those sellers will tell you how many rhinestones you need. I'm not going to be counting to determine how many I need. If I pour, I just hope for the best, okay? All right, so we're going to start out just kind of pouring them down. And I normally have my little tray. Y'all can see I'm off my game. This bigger piece of cardstock. That'll kind of help me. All right, so I'm just going to start rotating these around in a circular motion like this for the rhinestones to kind of fall into place. And we definitely have more than enough of these babies. Okay. And shift those off. And the little blue things are still getting on my nerves. Go away. You see how the rhinestones fit in there perfectly? That's because you sized them and you got them at that 0.13, which is the size that they should be for SS10s. Okay, and you want to follow the sizing. If you're doing SS6 or 16s or 20s, you want to follow the sizing that I gave you inside when I was showing the Cricut portion. Okay, now you just want to take a good look to make sure that none of these are on their backs. None of them are doubled up. Again, I like to take my Cricut tool to kind of help me out. And you want to identify any issues before you put that heat on them. So I'm going to be using my heat press to press these on. I'm sure if you have like your little Cricut Easy Press, that will work as well. But I'm going to be using my heat press machine to press these on, or to press this design. And now that I'm looking at this, this even looks dark, even on that blue. I'm thinking that maybe I should go with, let me put my shirt up here. I'm going to see if I can drop a couple on my shirt and see what they look like. Might be too dark. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. It looks too dark. I think I'm going to go with the lighter color. I know you guys are probably saying, oh, that work, girl, for nothing. Yep. But I think it's too dark. I thought that I picked up gold, but they look. It says gold. That's why I thought it would show up. Let's see if you guys can see it. It says gold. But these look dark. I might have to put these on a different color shirt. All right, maybe I'll go with it. You know, stranger things have happened. Maybe it'll show up pretty. All right, so that is how it is going to look. You see how easy that was to get those rhinestones in there. You want to, again, just look at them all to make sure they're all going in the right direction. You want to make sure you don't have any doubled up. You want to make sure you didn't miss any. Now, once we get this part taken care of, we're going to then shift these little babies out of our way. Now, normally I would have this laying down to take a little tray to scoop these up, but I'm going to put these right back into my little bag. I knew I was going to do that. That's why I didn't want to pick it up. I knew that baby was going to shift on me. All right. Here we go. And then we're going to take our little bag. Excuse me, and that's for the ones that we did not use, and then we just close our bag back up. Now, very easily, I'm going to pull that back over here so you guys can see it. And now, I'm going to get my transfer. This is the transfer. It's going to have a shiny, sticky side, and then a dull, kind of textured side to it. You're going to pull that off. And normally you cut these down, guys, to fit the size. Let me see, because I might need to do. Okay. When you get ready to put this on, you want to make sure that you kind of start in the center and then just drop, roll out to the sides like that. I'm trying not to let this excess stick to this mat. I should have cut it down, but wasn't thinking. It does look pretty though. So it may be perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna push these down with my finger. You just want to make sure that they're all going in the right direction. Again, none have flipped on their backs. If they have, it's a simple fix, guys. You just kind of lift up your sheet and work them back in the direction that they should go. I'm going to flip this over and cut this excess so that it doesn't become a bother to me. And I'm going to place this right back on this transfer backing, because I can use it at any time. Y'all see them blue dots, guys? These bugs are pesky. They're a little pests. All right, I'll move that out of the way. So now we have our template. It's ready to be ironed onto our shirt. And let's see here. We're going to, one of the things I like about the Rhinestone warehouse is that they give you the heat and time. So they tell you to press at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds, medium to firm pressure, okay, for these rhinestones. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to meet you over at the press. And that's all we're going to do is we're going to press this onto our shirt. Now, when we lift this up, I like to tell people, try not to handle it too much. So I like to take mine over to the press and then lift it up because I know I'm ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and go over to the press and press at 325 for 15 seconds. And then we'll have a nice shirt with the template that you've now seen me create from beginning to end. We took our we took our template from Creative Fabrica. I will link Creative Fabrica, my affiliate code, in the description. So if you choose to purchase the yearly or monthly membership, you'll get a little bit of a discount using my affiliate code. And then we took it and we extracted or unzipped that file. And then we installed it onto our computer. We then made sure that we did a view and a reload in Cricut Design Space because Cricut was open, so that we could have Cricut to pick up that new font that we had just installed on our computer, which is the system. And then once we went into Cricut Design Space and got that all done, we went and used the contour to size these SS10 circles to a 0.13 width and height. Okay, so that our rhinestones would fit. And you can see they fit in that baby perfectly. No issues. Okay, if you bring that design right in, guys, and start trying to work with it to put SS10s or whatever size rhinestones, it's not going to work. So use those formulas that I gave you inside on my Cricut canvas. Use those numbers depending on what size rhinestones you're working with. Okay. And you can get creative. You can make the love in different colors. I didn't have to use the same color for this. I could have used different colors. Okay, but this is what we're going with. I think it's going to be pretty now that I'm holding it up. I think it's going to be pretty. Okay, 325 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 seconds. But once you size these in Cricut Design Space, don't change it. Don't change the sizing. Don't say it looks too small or I wanted it larger than that. It is what it is once you put that sizing on there based on the template, based on the rhinestones that you're using. Okay, so once you get that contour done and you size that one dot, and then you go back in and show all contour to bring in all your dots, do not change the sizing, okay, in Cricut. All right, let's go to the press. All right, guys, you are at the heat press. I'm not coming 3 fingers down because I'm using a V-neck 100% cotton t-shirt instead of a rounded neck. If I was using a rounded neck, then I would come 3 fingers down. But since it's more of a V-neck, I'm going to start closer to the V. All right, I'm going to do one last double check here before we get this press party started. I'm telling you, you can't be too careful because you'll get to the end and be like, uh-oh. And you don't want to be that way. Hold on one second. Let me get these other scissors. That is going to drive me crazy right there. And all right, we're only going to press this. Oh, blue dots, guys. I'm telling you, them little things get on your nerves. So we're now going to pull up our transfer tape. That's why you saw me cut off that excess from the white, because I didn't want to be bothered with it. And this is pulling up all of your rhinestones, which is what you want. And do your best to keep it from flipping backwards or going backwards, because then you're going to end up with a mess on your hands. All right, so there we go. Put it kind of about there. I still think it's too dark, but I think it's going to be fine. I know that these rhinestones right here, They shine bright like a diamond, like seriously. I'm just cutting off that excess paper, which I should have took care of before I got to this point, but I didn't. And my heat press is like, I'm ready to party. So it keeps like making that little noise. And then it shifted one of my dang on rhinestones. Get off my hand. These are my favorite Cricut scissors, and I think I have cut so much on them that they are dull now. Because those babies will cut my hand if I wasn't careful. Okay, today is just not my day, y'all. Today is just not my day. We all have those days, don't we? I just don't want to end up with this white stuff on my t-shirt. So I'm trying to cut it off, and at the same time, this baby is trying to stick to my scissors. Oh, there we go. Now I gotta fix that one rhinestone. All right, there we go. Now I gotta remember where it was. It was right here. All right, I think we're good. And we're gonna press it for 15 seconds. Medium to firm pressure. 325, 162 Celsius. And there we have it. All nice and done. I'm gonna throw this away because that piece of transfer tape got on my nerves. All right, guys. So hopefully you guys can see that. We are done. It is blinging. It's blinging, y'all. Y'all see that? I'm telling you, the Rhinestone Warehouse, they're, I gotta get the name. Let me get the right name. Hold on. These are the diamond cut. And let me tell you, when you're outside, they shine bright like a diamond. They are so pretty. They are so pretty. Let me see if I can turn this around so you guys can see it. I thought it was gonna, you know, be kind of messed up on the black, but it's so pretty. Look at that. Turned out beautiful. Turn my heat press off. So these are the gold diamond cut SS10s. All right, so now I've walked you completely through the process, guys, on how to do this. So if there was anything that wasn't clear, then please chime in the comments and let me know, and I'll be more than glad to help you. If you are currently in my Facebook group, I want to thank you guys so much for following me via Facebook. If you would like to join my group, it will be linked in the description. Excuse me. If you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you guys so much for following me via YouTube. And if you like my method of teaching, I have over 400 video tutorials on my YouTube channel. Then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, I will link my Creative Fabrica account if you would like to sign up. I'm telling you, it's a one-stop shop. Images, fonts, crafting projects, even with the AI software for CF Spark, that's only $9 per month, in addition to a monthly or yearly membership. I, again, highly recommend the yearly membership because you can just sign up and forget about it. You're covered for the year, and you won't have to go searching in all these crazy places to find images. And then with the AI Spark or the CF Spark software, you can create your own digital images. All right. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay, you guys know my motto. Each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.